How you doing?
Welcome to Singapore as well.
Thank you.
This is not your first visit here. You said you
I
here
was here
back.
once before I was here, yeah.
Just briefly, though.
Just briefly, yeah. Briefly again, unfortunately.
But coming down, what was your first reaction when you were kind of coming in from the airport? And
long trip.
He's sleeping.
Yeah, you came from New York. It is a long trip. It is.
And we know you started music really young. I mean, you were 9 when you first wrote your first song?
I started writing around 9. I started playing, I was playing all my life. I started playing at 3 years old.
Wow. So how did you know did you always know this is going to be the thing for me?
I did, yeah. I never considered anything else, so that narrowed it
down. How did that happen? Because well, I don't think my kid at 3 kind of knows what she wants to do just yet.
My grandmother bought me one of those toy pianos, those like 10-key wooden boxes, and she taught me how to play Happy Birthday when I just started on that. I never stopped.
And you just didn't look back after that.
And so you taught yourself the music? I mean, was it?
I played by ear a lot, but then I studied it with many different people in New York, both classical, all kinds of styles of music. I had a lot of great teachers in New York City.
So how'd you end up with the jazz sort of genre?
Well, I don't think I ended up with jazz. Jazz is kind of part of what I do, and I went through. I started getting into jazz when I was 13, and. Now this record, I'm writing all my own stuff, so it's like, in a way, it's kind of like a debut record for me. But it's all kinds of styles are involved.
What kinds of musicians inspire you? I mean, old school and new school?
I go through phases. When I first started, I listened to a lot of early rock and roll piano players like Jerry Lee Lewis and Chubby. I was like from 5 to like 10. That's all I listened to. And then I started listening to a lot of vocalists and then singer-songwriters of, the 70s and 80s and up until today. So now, like this record, it all kind of blends together.
And so, any like inspirations from new artists besides? I know you're like
all over the place. I think within every genre, there's stuff that I like and there's stuff that I don't like. I think it's like everyone else,
Is there a genre that you rule out ever doing?
No.
Like hip-hop,
no, I don't rule out anything.
You could collaborate with someone. That would be interesting. I mean, but the thing is that's some of the argument. Some purists are saying, well, jazz is no longer jazz these days. It's, when you say popular jazz, what does that mean?
I have no idea. I don't categorize my music. I leave that to you guys.
Yeah. Do you feel that people kind of expect to hear a certain type of music from you? Or
well, my first record was a jazz record. Yeah. That if I had to categorize it, my first. Then my second record started moving away, and I don't think this record's more of a pop record than anything else. But no, I never really worried about what it was called. I mean, it's just.
Did you get any flack from older musicians who said, "Hey, your jazz piano playing is really good"?
Oh yeah, When I started moving into different styles, a lot of people said, "What are you doing? You're supposed to play this." But I mean, I'm not in it for that.
And what about a favorite? Kind of music, or what would you tell young musicians to do? In fact, if they were listening to music and say, "I want to be a jazz musician," so they know I want to do jazz. Are you concerned about that?
I think it's regardless. No, I think again, the genre has nothing to do with any of this. Yeah. I think it's just if you want to play music, then you have to ask yourself whether you need to do it or you want to do it. To me, I feel like it's something I need to do, and I've always felt that. So genre has nothing to do with it. It's just, I think that's with anything, music or anything else in life. I think that you want to wake up in the morning and feel happy and lucky that you're able to do what you do, and you have to fight for that.
You see, you're a fortunate man. You've established yourself. You got the music. Whereas I think for many,
I feel very, very lucky because there's tons of people who, a lot of this is luck. A lot of it you have to be in the right place at the right time. A lot of talented people out there who don't get the chance. But you just have to keep trying. I think if it's something you really need to do, then you just keep doing it.
Talking about what you love doing, do you prefer performing on stage or do you prefer recording something and making it perfect?
Both. Both. Yeah. I mean, it's.
You saying his on stage is not perfect? Is that what you know?
By far from perfect. No, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a very different thing, and I love having both of those things to go back and forth between. And I think when I'm in the studio and after I'm done with that process, I'm ready to go on the road, and then I'll get to a point where I'm sick of being on the road and I want to go back in the studio. It's really nice to have that.
So it's a balance for you. Yeah. When you're on stage, how do you feel you're interacting with the audience? What's your style like?
Well, I mean, at times I feel like I'm interacting, and at times I feel like they have nothing to do with it, because when I start playing, a lot of times I forget that they're there. But at the same time, they're also a very important part of the show and an important part of the music. A lot of times you find yourself doing different things musically because of the energy in the room.
Do you do that? Do you change your program?
It just happens. It just happens. I mean, that kind of stuff just happens.
They applaud or they cheer, and then you sort of do.
Yeah, of course. I think that affects everyone in the band.
Yeah.
I have to ask you one more question though, because he's known for his impeccable dress sense.
Oh.
He's always like in a suit and everything. In fact, I expected him to come in one, but he's got really sharp shoes. If you're looking.
My white tux wasn't pressed today, so I couldn't wear that.
So what do you think's your style then? I mean, like, you know, because a lot of younger sort of pop rock musicians, they dress really casually, but you're saying you know you have to dress sharply. So
I'm not saying anything. I just dress the way I want to dress. I think you got to be comfortable in what you wear.
Exactly.
That's it.
In fact, I'm happy to say that he's a very well-groomed gentleman. You know, I mean, you know, they come in. Some of these guys come in from look like they just walked out of bed. You know, so I don't know. You know, maybe it's the look they're going for. You know,
I'm sure it is.
Well, so just lastly, tell us very quickly, what do you think? What can audiences expect from your performance here in Singapore?
Well, they'll expect a mix of different stuff, songs from my record, and really the live element. I'm excited that I have my full band here, because a lot of times I don't get the chance to bring everyone out, but they're all here, and I can't wait to see what happens myself. You know, I have no idea. I have a set list, but other than that, that's it.
leaving it to you.
There you go.
Good luck with your performance.
Thank you very much.
for joining
Thanks for having me.
If you